Advaita Gadadara Vivasate Gora Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Vivasate Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Sai Guranga Nitai Guranga Nitai Guranga Nitai Guranga Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Radhe Shyam Radhe Shyam Lalita Vishaka Jaya Radhe Shyam Guru Dev Guru Deva Guru Dev Jaya Guru Dev Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitai Go Premanande Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all to this evening section of the English Bhagavad-Gita discussion. It seems to be a very interesting topic we're having today, which deals with the summary or the content of Gita summarized, especially the aspect that deals with this metaphysics. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, we are taking the reading from text 23. Yes, that was what Prabhuji gives. Na na Rakshe na cha nei kulajante api na soyati maruta nahachyote sastrani naedantiti puvaksha nachani krutshadapu na suchati mushatha. You all know, please go ahead. Naidanti Shichastrani Ninjati Bhavata Nashu Shayate Mashutaha Ninjanti Tatsi Shashrani Nikachichi Pavata Nashvinkayanti Apu Nasho Shanti Maruta Nayanti Vanti Sashrani Mayandati Bhavataha Nam Chiriyamkachina Tatapu Nasushanti Marutaha Na Naryanti Sashani Navratasi Bhavataha Nachenti Yapu Nachichanti Mabhashataha Na Never. And this soul, Chaitanya, cannot be pierced, cannot be, can cut to pieces, Sastrani, weapons, na, never. And this soul, Danati, burns, Uraksha, fire, na, never. Cha, also. And this soul, Kujyanti, moisture, happy, water, na, never. Sushati, dry, Mushyatha, wind. The translation in English: the soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapons, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Can we say together? The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapons, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Srila Prabhupada's purport. All kinds of weapons, swords, flames weapons, rain weapons, tornado weapons, etc., are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there were many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, and or ether, etc., in addition to the modern weapons of fire. Even the nuclear weapons of the modern age are classified as fire weapons. But formerly, there were other weapons made of different type of material elements. Fire weapons were counteracted by water weapons, which are now unknown to modern scientists. Not to modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. Nonetheless, the soul can never be cut into pieces, nor annihilated by any numbers of weapons, regardless of scientific device. The Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul can come into existence simply by ignorance and consequently become covered by the illusory energy. Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual souls from the original Supreme Soul. Rather, the individual souls are eternally separated parts of the Supreme Soul. Because they are atomic individual soul, eternally, sanatana, they are prone to be covered by the illusory energy, and thus they become separate from the association of the Supreme Lord. Just as the spark of a fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to extinguish when out of the fire. In the Vaireda Purana, the following the living entity are described. In the Varaha Purana, the living entity are described as separated parts and parcels of the Supreme. They are eternally so, according to Bhagavad-Gita also. So even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate entity, as is evident from the teaching of the Lord to Arjuna. Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna, but he never became one with Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Gyan Timiran Yasyan Jananjana Shlakaya Shakshu Omenitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurube Namaha. So once again, I welcome you all to this class. which is a metaphysical one. Metaphysical in the sense that it talks beyond, is the discussion is beyond the body. Mental means soul, and physical means the body. So what sustains the body and what goes beyond this body is the soul. So in the previous verse, which I think it was 22, right? 22, we see that illustration is being given. And what is that illustration? Illustration of garments. Just like no matter how beautiful our garment is, right? No matter how beautiful it is, at one point we give up that garment now, right? Okay? No matter how beautiful it is, at one point we give it up. Why do we give it up? Precisely maybe because it become old, or precisely because I got torn. And there's no way we can amend the place that got torn from the garment. Therefore, we give it up. So the same thing applies to this body. This was the previous discussion, bringing us to the authenticity, the internality of the soul, which is being brought in this particular text we're reading today. What cannot be the soul cannot be annihilated, which is the emphasis here. We talk about water. Here it talks about water, fire, and which other thing again? Water, fire, and wind. Wind. We see all these things every day, right? We see a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken, we have informed of how water case on devotees from some particular location. They went to swim. So, right? What it means that water can destroy the body, but water cannot destroy the soul. This is one point we can take notes. And this is another reminder for us. The other one which is being mentioned also, with the wind. The wind and also on fire. Let us little reflect. We see how this particular, which Srila Prabhupada, this is not known to the modern day scientists. We see in Krishna Lila what Indra did. Indra wanted to use the water to devastate the entire Braj. But we see the force of this water. To the extent the Vrajvasi become afraid, they have to take shelter, of Krishna. So what the point here is that water can really, create havoc among, community. Now, we have seen sometimes erosion will just, blow up people's house. And we have also seen also how this idea of, Varuni Astra, which is water, Varuni Astra, how when Arjun was after his training, he was to exhibit his skill. What happens then? He first of all shoot the Agni Astra. The whole place becomes full of threatening. Then at one point again, he released another weapon, which was Varuni Astra. So everything was balanced. And we see that Srila Prabhupada somehow emphasized that this is not known to the modern day scientists. These are secrets of the Vedas. And then we look at the other one, which is the wind. The wind can destroy many physical things. Physical thing, even the body sometimes. But the wind cannot destroy the soul, right? So, including the fire, Agni. Agni, we have seen several times where the destruction of Agni, how it's for havoc on people's life. We have so many experience on this, how people try to put on gas, and what followed was a explosion of the gas and a life was lost. But all these different phenomena that we have just faced, they're all pertaining to the body. The body can be destroyed at any given time by these different elements. But that does not have anything to do with the soul. This is the point. A lot of things can, the body is prone to disease. The body is prone to disease, is prone to age, is prone to, injury. But all these things has nothing to do with soul. So this particular test established the internality of the existence of the soul. Why is this actually, a metaphysical aspect is being addressed? Because Arjuna was in a state of quagmire, a state of confusion. What should I do? These people, they are my, they are my relations, they are my forefathers, they are my friends, they are my cousins, they are so on and so on. The mind was there. So the more the mind increased, the more the attachment to this body increased. And the more we forget that this body is temporary, it's not who we are. So sometimes we say that this particular aspect of what we are addressing is the ABC of Krishna consciousness, that we are not this body. So why actually do we say that we are not this body? Why actually do we say so? That we are not this body and we are the soul. It was somebody, we are not the body, we are the soul. What are the symptoms that makes us think that we are not the body, we are the soul? I want us to have some little reflection on this particular, notion which I raised. What makes us think? Yes, it's a common phenomenon, common saying that we are not the body, we are soul. Sometimes we are atma. Yes, but what are the symptoms? What makes us think? What makes us hold to this principle that we are not the body, we are the soul? What are the things that give us the modus operandi to believe that truly we are not the body, we are the soul? What are the things? How do we come to this understanding? Are there somebody who wants to say something? How do we know that truly we are not the body? Are there something that tells us that we are not the body, that we are Atma or spirit soul, as the cover says? Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. That's a different dimension that because according to her, if I understand your response, Mataji, are you with us here? You said three things because three things did not go to the spiritual world. That makes us think that or knows that we are not the body, right? If I understand your thank you, but that is one aspect of what we're looking at. But we are just trying to know. Yeah, we are not the body. What are the symptoms that really enhance us to believe that we are so we are not the body? Body will be acting. Pardon? Will be acting. Say that again. The soul is there in the body. Body will be active. When the soul is there in the body, then the body will be active. Yes, that's a good one. Yes, Prabhuji at the back. Yes, 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 yes. Wonderful. I thank you for your contribution. But one of the cardinal point that Srila Prabhupada gave to this is the consciousness. Consciousness. Consciousness is the symptom that we are not this body, we are the soul. For instance, you see, when this hand is cut off now, or when a needle pierces the body, you feel it. Ooh. All right? You feel. Why do you feel? This is the symptom that there is soul in this body. But there is a difference. When this symptom is no longer available, if you pierce it, nothing will happen. That is when people say that person have died. Because of this symptom, that makes us understand that there is something higher than this body, and which is the soul. For instance, if the soul is not there, even when you call the whole hand, nothing will happen. You won't feel it. You get the point? So the existence of the soul make the embodied being feel some certain pains. When you are giving injection, oh, you feel, because just like the phone. No matter how beautiful the phone is, no matter how sophisticated it is, but once the battery is not there, those functions, they are useless. But when the battery is there, you can feel and you can interact with every, areas you want to communicate. So this signifies, the internality of the soul. And that also means, wow, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's also tells us the significance of this institution. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So who are we being conscious of? Are we meant to be conscious of the body? We are conscious of Krishna who is within this body. Because this is what the whole package of the ISKCON, our society, is all about. How we realize that we are not the body, we are soul, part and parcel of Krishna. As it was mentioned in the purport, there is this understanding, though this idea of simultaneously one and different, which Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. Even when Arjuna becomes informed about his legitimate position or about his legitimate duty, but the conception never leaves his mind that I am insignificant. I'm the spark, and the Lord is the full spark. An example is given in one of the books. I think that book is Perfect Question, Perfect Answer. And it's given also here, when a spark, is out of the hole, then he get, it go into extinction. For example, now, you see, this, one of the example that is given in that book, Perfect Question, Perfect Answer, is example of a knot. Knot? There is screw, there is knot. You see, when a knot is attached to a machine, that knot is acting, or its fulfillment is achieved. You get the point? But when that same knot is out of that machine and it falls away somewhere, that knot becomes useless. You get the point? So we get our fulfillment when we are attached to the Lord. And how we go about this attachment to the Lord, this is the whole package of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Because it is two things only. If we are not attached to the Lord, we will be attached to the body. And to be attached to this body, it only means birth, death, old age, and disease. Birth, death, old age, and disease. This is only what it means. The vicious circle of life. So the whole process of teaching of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness is to bring us out of this vicious circle and place us in our original Sanatana duty. eternal duty, Sanatana Dharma, our eternal duty. And our eternal duty is to know who we are, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. And the duty of this part and parcel is to render service. To render service. Because by rendering of service, all that will be entangled, all that will entangle us to this body becomes null and void. So that is why, day in, day out, we encourage everyone. Don't lose taste in the Maha Mantra, because this Maha Mantra is the fuel. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Just imagine you are running a vehicle and somehow you run out of fuel. What will you do? Become stranded. So we'll encourage everyone. Don't get tired. Though this mantra is very tasteful, effective, but sometimes it appears that one becomes tired. So, it's so much full with nectar. But the more we render insignificant service, the more we see the nectar that is incubated in this mantra. And this mantra helps that realization, help us to that understanding that we are not really the body. We are spirit soul. And there is nothing that can annihilate the soul. Water cannot kill the soul. Wind cannot kill the soul. Fire cannot kill the soul. So there is nothing that can kill the soul, because the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. What faces these different, elemental challenges is the body. So we have this body for one purpose: to realize ourselves and to enhance the soul to go back to where it came from, which is the spiritual world. And by the grace of our acharyas, His divine grace, His confounder Acharya, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he have designed this institution in such a way that everybody who fits in, everybody who partakes, gets that message, to see how bright the future is, to see how, it is possible for us to go back home, back to Godhead. This is the inclination. The soul is here. The soul is in this body, which is also mentioned in the purport. The soul is in this body. Just only one thing. What is that? Reaction. The karma of the previous life. The soul is in this body only because of the previous action. According to Gaba, I think it's Gaba Sastra, I think, which we can also find in one of the canto. I can't vividly remember. One of the canto is also there. When in the stomach, it is said that in the stomach, the baby in the stomach, the fetus in the stomach, which is the soul, he remembers everything that has brought he or she in that stomach. What he did, how he did it, and why he find himself in that stomach, in that he knows all these things. And inside that stomach is praying, oh my Lord, if I'm able to come out of this stomach, don't allow me to go back again. Yeah, we don't know how, how the mercy of the Acharya is. We don't really know until we face some circumstances. Then we realize that what we have is more than gold. If there is anything more than gold, it's more than gold. If you have any experience of somebody who have stays in a room for one day, only one day you lock yourself in the room, you will know you will you just. I remember during the time of coronavirus, even we see a lot of people were having so much disease. Why? Because there were restrictions of movement, and people become fed up just staying in their room. Then imagine you are in this confinement in the belly. The mother will take sometimes some mother who take alcoholic. It will take alcoholic and it will affect the baby. The mother will take michi, pepper, and the baby will very challenging situation. And maybe the mother will sleep improper way, it will affect the baby, the fetus in the womb. Look at the experience the fetus felt in the womb. And the baby knows everything that have led into the womb. And he's praying, my Lord, oh please, just give me this one last chance. Srila Prabhupada write one book, Second Chance, right? Second chance about the Leelas of Ajami. Just give me this second chance. If I come out, it's only you and you only. But as soon as the fetus comes outside, then the wave of Maya will wave him here and there. The mother will give extreme love. Oh, baby! The father will give extreme love. Oh, my darling boy! What happens? All the experience that the child has in the womb, that he vowed not to come back, will all be wiped out. Then he forgets his free nature, that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. I was supposed to work towards that goal of going back from where I came from. Then he began to feed on what he was feeding before that have led into the stomach. This is the irony of repeated birth and death. So Krishna is instructing Arjuna, don't find yourself in this circle. You are not this circle. You are a spirit soul. Don't be afraid. Do your duty as a Kshatriya. You will incur any soul. You will incur any karma because I'm giving you the instruction. So I think this is the few points I was. Then I have some practical aspect that I think we can as well meditate on as we leave this class today. And the first practical lesson which I have here is that your real identity is the eternal soul, not the temporary body. Your real identity is the eternal soul, is the soul, not the temporary body. The body is like a cloth we established before, which was previously was mentioned. Uh, just like we can also use the idea of a house, a room. When people stays in a long time in a room, at one time they want to leave. They are not going to carry the room along with them now, right? They will leave the room there. So the same thing. When the soul stays in this body for a long time, and the person who the soul, the body, and the person who is the caretaker of this body, and is not doing any tangible thing to realize that I have a visitor, then all his attempt or all his endeavor is only how to maintain the physical body. That is really unfortunate. At one point, just like the house, the caretaker or the landlord will say, hey, my friend, you have long due in this house, go away. So the same, at one point, the karma will say, enough, you have to leave. So we hear the word death. So that's the first practical lesson to take, note of, is that we are not the temporary body, we are the, eternal soul. The second practical is that suffering may affect the body, but it cannot touch the existence of who you are. There might be sometimes for suffering. A lot of people suffer from different, but those different suffering, they all are pertaining to the body, not to the soul. Okay? And they might be different. If you go to hospital, you go to different places, you see a lot of people there. They are suffering from one ailment or the other. Different diseases are there. But all these different diseases, they can be traced back to the karma. And what it means that they are not, linked with the soul. They are only linked with the body. So the third practical lesson we can meditate on is that fear of death diminish through spiritual knowledge. So a lot of people are afraid of so many things, just like Arjuna. Arjuna was afraid of fighting because he thought that he would be held responsible for killing. But what his thought was on a temporary body. So a lot of people are afraid of so many things. Afraid of what would they eat? Afraid of shelter. Afraid of so many things. Afraid of things unknown to them. But with the help of spiritual knowledge, and when we say spiritual knowledge, we are talking about that knowledge that make a concrete distinction, a distinction between the body and the soul. Just like we now are aware that the body can face so many challenges. Just like when I say you are crazy or you have some mental problem, I'm not referring to the soul. I'm only referring to this body because this body, is what assimilates and rationalize to keep it or to repeat or to throw its utterances back. It's all to this, not to the soul. So when we are influenced with spiritual knowledge, all these different, fearful situation or provocation, they all are kept aside because we come to that point that whatever comes to us or whatever people throw to us, it's not thrown to the soul, it's only thrown to the body. And we see this in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam of the Avanti Brahmana, who was very wealthy, extremely wealthy. But because though he was wealthy, but his wealth was not being used for himself, nor for his relation, his brother or his family. Not even the deity who are responsible for wealth. He was so miser that nothing goes out of his pocket. At one point, what happens? Different agencies, different officials, they begin to take. Some the family takes, some the government officials, some nature. So at the end of the whole situation, he becomes wretched. He becomes a beggar. And when he go out to beg, people will insult him. People will even stone him. And what he will beg, sometimes the queues will spit on it. They will say, look at this pretender. Now you have run out of your wealth. Now you're becoming a renaissance. When you were having wealth, where did the knowledge of renaissance go? Now all your wealth has been taken away. You now remember there is something renunciation. In all the circumstances that before this personality, he never uttered any words. What he said instead, he said, these people are not the cause of my problem. This is how his thought come to Srimad Bhagavatam, because he didn't see people as his problem. Who he saw as his problem? The mind. He see the mind as his problem. Every problem every individual in this world faces is as a result of the uncontrolled mind. This was his cardinal virtue. These people, they are not my problem. Even nature itself is not my problem. But my problem is my mind. So the fourth one, I think, is lasting peace comes from investing in spiritual growth rather than temporary. Let us invest more our time. If we evaluate the time we spend in mobile phone and the time we spend in our spiritual, practice, there's a vast gap, right? For instance, we spend like 2 hours at most for spiritual practice. We spend like 4 hours. We spend like 4 hours on the phone. And we don't see the unfortunate situation. We are not too much aware that the time we spend in this device is of that, ratio. Because of the sensation it gives to our eyes. The sensation it gives to our eyes, the vision we assimilate, it makes us forget how it is time consuming. But when it comes to spiritual practice, mechanically, otherwise we just like 2 hours. Oh yeah. But we can spend hours with a phone. So the last point is saying we should invest more time in spirit because this is only what can go along with us when we are leaving this body. The mobile phone will not go along with us. And the time we have wasted for temporary thing cannot be retrieved. That is the painful aspect of it. Right? The time we have wasted for temporary thing cannot be retrieved. And we can hear experience from the old people. I have come across so many old people. Sometimes they will tell me, oh boy, the time I have wasted for this thing. If I have invested in this present thing I'm doing now, I would have been. My advice is that you still have the fortune. So don't think about the past. Think about the present. You can still make it. And by the will and mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we all will make it. It's just only if we invest the appropriate time that is required for us to grow in spiritual life. The fifth one, which is the last one, uh, Bhakti Yoga awaken the soul's eternal relationship with Krishna, which can never be destroyed. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So our practice is Bhakti Yoga, a yoga that helps us to connect with Krishna all the time. So we have 10 minutes there. I leave that for your reflection, your comments, your questions. Yes, Prabhu. Maybe your comments, your feedback, or something like that. Okay. Yeah, that's a good feedback. Yeah, we just try to reflect on the Prabhupada's thoughts. Okay, I have some service in the kitchen now. Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Go Premanande. Thank you for your attention. Yeah, I get the box that I have a but we can manage it. If we manage my time, is money. I have to run this server. It's not like there's not like manage it. What is there?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.